Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. And welcome to the Technology Show on Salam Media. My name is Faizel Patel. It is just gone 7 minutes past 7 o'clock on this Sunday evening. I take this opportunity to welcome all those listening to us on the various platforms of Salam Media. Jazakallah for tuning in. We do have a packed show. We were supposed to have an interview this evening. Unfortunately, the guest decided to ditch the interview. So, inshallah, we're going to be talking about some other stories that's been making headlines across the country and across the world. So, let's jump straight into it. Remember, you can interact with me by sending me a tweet on at Faizel Patel 143. You can also get me on Instagram at Faizel Patel 143. Let's not forget facebook.com/Faizel Patel. And I'm also on YouTube, where I did a recent review of a new product. So I'm going to be speaking about that as well. And also, just for those that love the Samsung Galaxies, well, I have the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 in my hand. Check this out. So that is absolutely amazing. Thank you to Samsung for sending me this particular device. I'm going to be reviewing it for a few weeks, and inshallah, stay tuned to all the social media channels for all the updates. But let's come on to one of the major stories and big stories that I've covered in the past few weeks, which is the Asus Zenbook 14 Pro Duo review. Now, I spoke about this last week sometime. I told you that I was going to do a YouTube video. Well, that is up on my channel now, so you can go check it out. There's also an article on the Citizen's website at citizen.co.za, and the article is called Watch Asus Zenbook Pro 14 Duo review. So let's go through it a little bit and give you some details of that review. So Asus has been in pursuit of the next wave of technological advancements when it comes to PCs and laptops. Now, I get a lot of questions about people asking me, Faizal, I got X amount of money. What laptop can I buy? This is how much I can afford. This is what I want. I don't want a MacBook. I don't want a Windows computer. I use two screens. I don't use two screens, or whatever the case may be. Well, this particular laptop that I reviewed is absolutely amazing. Now, Asus new technologies have changed the way we work and game remotely. And I can tell you this particular laptop really helped me when I was doing my work, especially from home, because I use two screens for a number of reasons. But I'm not going to explain to you why. You're going to have to watch the YouTube video to find out the reason why two screens sometimes is an advantage. So as I mentioned a few weeks ago, I reviewed the Asus Zenbook Pro 14 Duo, and I want to give you my impressions. So this particular device is impressively useful laptop. I mean, with its improved OLED screen, it makes for spectacular visual results. It's just amazing. I mean, it's something that stands out, especially when you load a website on a screen. Now, the secondary screen has also been tweaked significantly, with its software operating much more efficiently while still looking impressive in its own right, apart from the dropping battery life, well, slightly a little bit. Life as a result of these upgrades, the overall improvement on the new Zenbook Pro Duo are worth it. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. You have to see the video to actually enjoy it, right? And see what I'm talking about. Now, there are multiple variants of the Zenbook Pro Duo range. The most notable difference lies in the CPU. For those that don't know, it's a central processing unit with options ranging from the Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 CPU. So these are like top of the top and the best of the best. And with the new OLED screens, the pricing does take a bit of a knock, increasing with a starting point of around 40,000 Rand. So yeah, you're going to say, yeah, it is a bit expensive and everything. But remember that when you buy a laptop, and you can see it on screen now, my engineer just put it up. So when I was using it, if you look at the top screen, your normal laptop screen, that is where I had the Citizen website open, all right? So I got it there. And if you look at the bottom screen, there's two screens on this laptop. That's why they call it Duo. The bottom screen had another page open on the Citizen website, which is some of the articles that I've written. Now, this bottom screen, you can change it to anything, your Facebook, your Twitter, you can have YouTube, you can game, whatever you want. You can have WhatsApp open there. It's up to you. And this particular laptop is also touch recognition. It means you can touch it. It's touch recognition. You can use the stylus. It comes with a stylus as well. You can sign on it as well. Absolutely amazing. Normally at work, at the Citizen, I have two screens. One, I have the main screen where I'm working on, and the other screen, I've got all the news websites open. I've got WhatsApp and all our internal communications. And every time you have to swap between the two screens. And that is obviously cumbersome, it's tiring, it's tedious. And here you've got two screens in one laptop. Absolutely amazing. So imagine if you're going to a university or you're working in a business that you got your spreadsheet open on one page and somebody speaks to you, or in a university, you can actually use the one screen for taking notes, the second screen for researching everything. So absolutely amazing. No need for two screens. But like I said, please do check out the YouTube channel on the YouTube video on my YouTube channel, and you can let me know your thoughts and comments. Absolutely wonderful device. And when I'm speaking about 40,000, I mean, a laptop is an investment. You're not going to buy a laptop every year or every 2 years, maybe after 3-4 years. So you invest now in a good, solid laptop, and after 4-5 years, you can upgrade as well, because these things are pricey. So you don't want to buy a laptop with very minimal features or very low specs, because it might not able to do what you want it to do, and then you're going to be disappointed. I know people will see laptops for like, hey, listen, I got a laptop for about 6,000-7,000. Yes, but does it meet your requirements, right? Do you really need a laptop with so little requirements? Do you need a laptop with so much specifications? Not really. So see what is your budget, number one, what your pocket can afford, and number one. The second, number two is what features you actually want. So this particular Asus one is absolutely amazing. I enjoyed it. And once again, thanks to Asus for allowing me to review it for a few weeks. It is available. There's a YouTube channel. The review is available on the Citizen's website and also on my YouTube channel. Right, coming on to Apple, and that's iPhone. Let's talk about iPhone. I spoke about iPhone last week. Apple launched a number of new products, which is the iPhone 14 Pro range, which is the iPhone 14 Pro, the Pro Plus, the iPhone 14, the iPhone 14 Plus, the Pro, and the Pro Max. So basically 4 devices, right? There's no mini. So you're going to be disappointed. No mini at all this time. So let's just go through that again. iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now, we were working in US dollars. I gave you a price of around $1,099 starting, and then also $999. But there's a whole lot of duties and everything that needed to be added on there. Well, the iStore has now revealed pricing, and I can tell you it's going to burn a hole in a lot of people's pockets. These things are expensive. So let's go through it quickly. The iStore, as I mentioned, has announced its pricing for the iPhone 14 series in South Africa, revealing massive hikes compared to last year's iPhone 13 range. So when I come to the prices, you're going to be shocked because they are quite expensive. Last week or a week, 2 weeks ago, Apple unveiled the iPhone 14 at its Far Out event. That's on September 7th, and showcasing some iterative updates compared to the previous generation. On the physical side, the phone is basically the same, but they had this dynamic island, which I think is absolutely quite cool. But does it warrant an upgrade? Well, you're going to have to decide on that, right? So improvement includes slight performance and battery efficiency upgrades and more powerful photographic capabilities, particularly on the Pro models. So those are where the features are more abundant. The base models are also get the same design as the previous generation, while the Pro models sports a new pearl-shaped notch. Now, this pearl-shaped notch, as I mentioned, is a dynamic island where you can get sort of notifications and messages and a whole lot of other stuff, right? So while many expected the company to increase prices on some models due to the higher chip cost, Apple managed to keep the US price tags the same. But, and there's a huge a problem here, because these prices in South African rands are quite expensive, right? The cheapest, listen to this, the cheapest model, the base iPhone, that's only the iPhone 14, not the Pros, not the Plus, nothing. The iPhone 14 with 128 gigabytes of storage starts at, listen to this, 20,599 rand, which is 3,300 rand more than the iPhone 13 128 gigabytes at launch last year. So almost 3,500 Rand more than last year's model. So that's already burning 3,000 in your pocket. The iPhone 14 128 gigs also is 800 more expensive. The iPhone 13 256 gig cost at launch. So if you had an iPhone 13 256 gigs, the iPhone 14 for this year 128 is still right. Excuse me. 800 and more than last year's model of the iPhone 13. So what makes matters even worse is that it is no longer a mini model, as I explained, right? So which previously provided a much affordable entry point at 14.5 grand, which is still affordable and that kind of stuff, but no mini this year. Now the price hikes go even more substantial with two higher end Pro models. So let's go on to the big ones. That's the ones I actually like. That's the ones I actually buy, which is the Pro and the Pro Max models. So the Pro will set you back. That's a 128 gig model. Listen to this price. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. 128 gigabytes starts at 25,699 Rand. That's almost 4,500 more than the 21,499 launch or the price tag of the iPhone 13 Pro last year with the same storage. Now, I have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is here, right? And this is the iPhone 14 is going to be much, much more. Now, as I mentioned, these things are expensive. Let's come on to the iPhone Pro Max, and this is even more scary. The iPhone 14 Pro Max will set you back no less than 28,399 Rand with the lowest denomination storage of 128 gigabytes compared to 23,699 of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So last year I paid around 23,000 Rand for this. This year it's 5,000 Rand more. 5,300 Rand more. So absolutely shocking, right? So let me go through the other prices of the different models. So iPhone 14 128 gig is going to set you back at around 25,999, 256 gig at 23,199, and 512 gig at 28,499. The 14 Plus is not yet announced, so they still need to announce that. The 14 Pro starts off at 25,699. That's for the 128, and they got a 1 terabyte model, which will set you back 38,000 Rand for a phone. Yes, 38,000 Rand. And then the 14 Pro Max starts off at 28,399, and the 1 terabyte model, which it does have, is 41,499 Rand. I mean, I'm absolutely shocked. Can you believe that? 41,000 Rand for a phone. I mean, that is absolutely shocking. So it launches this coming Friday. If you have pre-ordered, there's some benefits. Obviously, you can check that out, but it will be available at all stores this coming Friday. Now, I normally buy the new iPhone every year. I queue like from 4 o'clock in the morning. I read my salah wherever store I'm going to, at one corner somewhere there. But again, this is the first year that I'm actually deliberating on whether to get the iPhone or not. Now, sometimes, and hopefully this year they'll do it as well, where the iStore gives you a trade-in on your previous phone. So if there is a good trade-in, I might consider it. If not, then I'll really have to consider it. I mean, if you look at the prices, right? I just want to go through the price again. If you look at the prices that I actually mentioned, I mean, let's take the iPhone 14 Pro Max, right? The 1 terabyte is 41,499. The 512 gigs is 35,999, right? So that is the Pro Max. A few weeks ago, I spoke about Huawei's Mate XS, the Mate XS 2, right? This particular one, I mean, this phone here is 38,999, but you're getting an innovative device which folds, absolutely amazing. And I spoke to Akram, he even dropped it. I mean, this is a very sturdy device. And speaking about, there will be another iPhone, a Huawei launch this coming week. I'll speak about that in a minute. So let me know if you want to actually, or are you going to be getting the iPhone or not? I think it's quite pricey. Contract prices are likely to be very, very expensive as well. And remember, they're now taking it over 36 months. So you've got longer to pay, right? But at the same time, you're also getting very bad contracts. And I'm saying bad contracts like maybe 100 minutes. They give you 300 SMSs, but they give you like 200 megs of data. And you can't do anything. Trust me, you can't do anything with 200 megs of data. It just doesn't work. I mean, 200 megs you can use like in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So the idea here is basically to, if you have an iPhone, trade in your old model, get a good, hopefully substantial amount for it, and then buy the new one and then maybe pay that cash. Then you're not bound to any contracts. You can check out the cheap contract with a contract that you want, so more minutes, more airtime, whatever it is, and then you can get the new iPhone. But very pricey. Like I mentioned, the design itself is the same. The Pros models, the Pro Max got a little pill shape where you get some notifications. That's the only thing, and the others are software related, like the excellent feature and that sort of stuff. But is it worth it spending so much? I mean, Apple really, and I'm going to be honest with you, I really love Apple. They haven't innovated in a long time, and I'm a bit disappointed. That's why I said I am deliberating on whether to get the new iPhone or not. But anyway, moving on. Let's come on to our next story. I was fortunate enough this week to be invited by TikTok. Now, please, I know no matter how much we want to deny it, most of us, and this is what TikTok told us, most of us, if not all of us, are on TikTok. We sometimes laying in bed and we're going through our TikToks. We do it at work, we do it in the car, we in the lounge, wherever. There isn't anybody that I don't know that is not on TikTok, right? And they invited me for a wonderful launch this week, and it's called TikTok for Business. And they put it under a very nice theme. They call it What the Talk. So TikTok for Business, What the Talk. So I'm going to share that with you a bit, and I'm going to give you details about it. Now, I just want to remind the listeners and just inform my engineer as well that there may be a break in this particular connection. The reason being is that we are in stage 6 load shedding, and my inverter is now beeping, so I might just lose connection. If that does happen, I do apologize, and inshallah we will continue with the show next week. But hopefully, inshallah, that we can finish up the stories before the inverter gives out. The stage load shedding, we had it from this morning, and it just didn't have enough time to charge. There wasn't enough electricity that came back on time to replenish the batteries. So if this connection does break, I do apologize for that. But anyway, let's speak about TikTok. If I don't go through everything, please check it out on the Citizens website. It's called TikTok, Magic of TikTok, not just to create, but to be discovered. So a lot of details are there. They're talking about advertising on the platform. I included a video as well. And I spoke to a person by the name of Scott Thwaites from TikTok. He told a Citizen the short video format is at the center of TikTok's DNA. Now, a lot of us, I know, will be using TikTok. I know you love it. And maybe you got a product, a home-based business, or maybe you're one of the businesses that in Joburg or in Sandton, and you've got some good products when you advertise. TikTok advertising is the way to go, because one particular video can get millions and millions of views. So check out that article on the Citizens website, citizen.co.za.